being smart. Smart cities, smart technology, smart everything. First, we have to become smart citizens. Are you all from Mumbai? Yes? Many of you have come to live in Mumbai recently, perhaps. This is the maximum city. One would expect it to be the smartest city of all. But then what is a city? It's not just the infrastructure. The city's character, the city becomes vibrant or laid back depending on the citizens. And certainly the smartness of any city also depends on us citizens who occupy that city or live in that city. Now, you just heard a few things that was given as my introduction. Perhaps I should give you a little perspective on this. I'm not originally from Mumbai. I'm a gypsy at heart. I'm from Kolkata. My workplace was in Delhi, but I made Mumbai my home because I married and I moved here. Why do I say made Mumbai my home? Because this is where I gave birth to my child and whom I raised. So as a mother, I thought and looked at many of the things in this city and wondered about what makes this city tick. How is it different from Delhi and Kolkata? So all of these questions, and of course, not to miss my very long nose, so I can't keep myself out of trouble. So I would, in any case, get involved with work in the city. I work pro bono for the city, and when I say I work pro bono, because although emotion got me into this work, but it's not emotion which sustains my work. I would say the same to all of you. Just as I walked in, I heard about passion and how passion converts into a profession. But in that, I would like to add, to be smart. Now, in order to be smart, I would share with you a couple of things. One is, if you are going to be an entrepreneur, or whichever career you go to, you need to be a smart consumer. In today's world, consumerism takes the center stage. Now, whilst you may be making a product, you are also, in other times, a consumer of some. Similarly, you need to be a smart voter, because the government of the day will ultimately see to it how your business or your studies or any walk of life will take shape. You need to be legally aware. Why do I say legally aware? You don't all have to become lawyers, but surely you will need to know certain basic laws, certain basic rights and responsibilities, etc. But your rights and responsibilities are all combined in a framework of law. So you can't take it away. So to be smart, be a smart consumer, be a smart voter, and be legally aware. Now, having said that, I was going through some, thoughts, and I wondered as to the significance of yellow talks. When I was first approached by the organizers, I asked them, why yellow? True, I was given a reply, but being curious, I went a little deeper. Does anybody know what yellow means in the Indian context? Yes? Gold. Absolutely right. I expected that of a lady, certainly. But no, it is, to some extent, perhaps true, because that's the end product. But in India, yellow is associated to be sacred and auspicious, and also the symbol of a merchant. Now, it's the merchant who will give you the gold. Now, we are talking about entrepreneurship, of making money, or of course with integrity, etc. Now, there seems to, or as I understood, that there is a great correlation between color and doing business in many communities and in the world. So it is quite interesting to delve a little to find out these things. So that's one of the things of being, thinking about smart thoughts. And not often do you need complicated solutions to resolving a problem. So I would like to share with you two case studies. The reason why I'll share with you is that whilst we look to traditional ways of having a profession or going in and choosing a career. Actually, for entrepreneurship, all over and all around, you have some challenge or the other, which you can convert into an opportunity for entrepreneurship or for your career. Now, I was introduced about the model school bus service. The school bus service, which was launched on 6th of June, 6th of June 2002. How did it come about? You must all actually be seeing yellow buses moving around, or some buses carrying children with a yellow border around. Yes? Now, true, there are many challenges surrounding us. But is it possible for any one of us to take up all the challenges? No. So one of the smart things perhaps I could share with you is to do what is achievable, what you can do, and that is what I set out to. Traffic problem is nothing new. So I thought that which aspect of traffic could I take up to resolve the problem and find a solution which ultimately will not only benefit society as in a larger group, but will also be an earning and self-sufficient financial model for the school and for the transporters. So that is how I went about setting out to resolve this problem of decongesting the approach roads to the schools. That in place of a bus which say is a 40-seater, how many cars will be there? Not more than 2 cars? If you can visualize a bus of that size. How many children can travel in the cars? Not more than 5 in each, so 10 compared to a 40-seater. So imagine the numbers that can be dispersed in a certain vehicle, and the number of vehicles which increases when you have less number of people being taken away from a venue. So that plus the question of safety and security. I wondered, why would a parent not want to put their children on the bus? One of the first thing would be the safety of your child. Is your child secure? Is the service efficient? If all these 3 are addressed, then obviously parents will have no reason not to put their children on a bus, which is a form of public transport. Because I think every day you're reading in the papers about public transport not being up to the mark. Of course, Mumbai is one of the better cities for public transport in India. And what is happening, etc. When you become older, we all sort of become set in our ways. Very often, we don't like to change certain patterns, certain ways of our lives. So catch them young. The other thing that it addresses is a question of bonhomie and out with the financial class distinction. Because in Mumbai, a city of lot of power, is also a city of contrasts. Now, when you see the city of contrasts, that boils down not only just to physical infrastructure, but also in the financial aspect of the children who go to school. Which car are you coming by? What clothes are you wearing? These are very common things that a mother is faced with very often, or parents, or even others. I have seen of an affluent school, a child getting down from a Maruti and saying that, why are you walking to school? I don't want my friends to see that I have a small car. Which is one of the reasons which was a trigger for me to start the system. Long and short of it is, the system mandates that every school principal becomes responsible facilitator between the students' body and the transporters to ensure a safe, secure and efficient travel of the school children to and from school and home. This system, I've spoken in a very nutshell. I will not go into details. I can tell you where you can get all the details from in a while. Was then adopted by the state of Maharashtra. Of course, there was a reason also for it, because many of the bureaucrats' children, as well as the judges, etc., their children have gone through my hands through the school bus. Now the government felt that if we have such a system or service out in the public domain, why have we not taken learnings from there? And I think it's a rare thing when a person's pro bono solution is taken and transformed into a state policy. It did happen and happened well. However, there are certain issues which needs tweaking. Now therefore, when the buses come in and go, the cars are out, children who take public transport are welcome to walk to school or come to school, you have at least the approach roads of the schools free. And not only that, imagine how many cars are off the road. I could give you a calculation for the cathedral school when I first did it. I understood that nearly 916 cars in the first lot itself was off the road twice a day, every school day. So that's a big number. Of course, proportionately it became stronger and many of these areas became free. The other one that I want to share with you, this being of transport, is that of municipal solid waste. Do you know what that means? Who generates the municipal solid waste? Do we know that? Because we don't separate our waste, it just mounts up. Have any of you been to the Deonar dumping ground? Have you seen it? Very few. I just saw 2 hands going up. I think all of you should at least have a look at a reality check. Since I was introduced with my partner, the municipality, I thought it fitting that I should share this with you. There was a project started internally by the PMC, Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. And the other one is MCGM, which is also another acronym, that is the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. Citizens, Mumbaikars, you have to know your municipality. We are tied to our municipality from the time we are born till the time we die. So there's no escaping that. Now coming back to municipal solid waste. Why am I sharing this with you? Because this is an entrepreneurship. This was an experiment which was started in the Deonar dumping ground by a very visionary officer of the municipality of converting the municipal solid waste which we generate in our homes into construction bricks. I'm fairly certain none of you would have heard about it. This was done in 2001. And I was fascinated with it because as long as humankind is there in the world, there will always be a need for housing, for which you need the bricks. And as long as there is humankind, we will keep on generating municipal solid waste. So the raw material is a ready asset. So combine the two and you get this very startling innovation of municipal solid waste dumped in Deonar, as well as the fly ash, which otherwise is of no use, and convert that into construction bricks. I have used it in Malabar Hill, and it's going strong as ever. Now, normal bricks, as you might know, uses the agricultural topsoil. So what happens to the fields? The fields get depleted of their nutrition, and the farmers suffer. Now, all this grounds, as you know in Mumbai, and indeed in many parts of the world, there is a huge shortage of space. So when that is so, then what do we look for? That how to reduce it and how to utilize it. So in both these cases, there was a great scope of entrepreneurship with a social cause. Now, standing as an unconventional social worker in the world of business, by the way, I come from a business family, so I'm very, very familiar with entrepreneurship and business. So combining the two is a win-win situation. And I feel that that's the smart thing to do. Now, in order to reach out to more Mumbai citizens, very recently I run a trust as well. I'm a managing trustee of Citizens Action Network. That's the facilitator for the Election Commission and a lot of other work as well. we launched a portal, and I would sincerely ask you to visit the portal, which is Together VCAN, V, not W, VCAN.in. And see the section on smart citizens, read about the garbage to bricks, read about the model school bus service, and many others. Of course, there is a whole lot which will help you in many ways for your daily lives, etc. Putting that aside, what was the purpose of this web portal? Because today we are going digital, we are going technology, galloping. So I harnessed, the smartest thing that I could do at that point was I felt that I should harness this and bring about a portal for the citizens which would address multiple issues in one. Otherwise, you have portals for many, but what you may not have is a portal which combines many of your queries into one. And also, it connects you with all the government departments, most of it, at least certainly the municipal and the police. Now, why did I do all of this? Because in all our work, my work has been in partnership with the statutory authorities. Now, when you start anything in life, if you start with a spirit of partnership, the path becomes a little bit less hassled. Whereas if you start with an approach of confrontation, it is unlikely that you will get the best out of your party on the other side. Certainly, my appeal would be that be smart, become aware, be advised of your roles, know your responsibilities. If I can, so can you, and as a society, so can we all. That do know your municipality, do know your city, be smart, be a smart consumer, be a great voter coming through for 2017, and be legally aware. Thank you very much for your time.